we had a very tough class yesterday. Just to compensate it, we'll first hear a story today. Story about the glories of chapter number 3. And then we'll discuss the last look of the third chapter. It's very easy. I'll just read it and then you can hear. Glories of chapter number 3. Lord Vishnu said, "My dear Lakshmi, in the town of Janasthan was a Brahmana of the name Jada, who was born in the dynasty of Kaushik. That Brahmana gave up the religious activities enjoined in the Shastras to be followed by the Brahmana class and took to many irreligious activities. He was very fond of gambling and drinking, hunting and visiting the prostitutes. In this way, he wasted his wealth. He went to the northern countries on a business trip. While there, he gained much wealth and decided to return to Janasthan. After having traveled a long distance, he found himself in a very deserted place, Khalistan, vacant place. One day, as the sun set and everywhere became engulfed by darkness, he decided to take a rest for the night under a tree." There is no need to comment anything, just read the story. "While resting, some robbers came and beat him to death and stole his wealth. Because Jada had given up all religious activities and led a sinful life, after his death he attained the form of a ghost. The son of Jada was very religious and learned in the Vedic Shastras. When he saw that his father had not returned to Janasthan, after a long time, he decided to go and search for him. For many days he traveled here and there in search of his father, and whatever travelers he would meet, he would inquire from them about his father. One day he met one person who knew his father and informed him of the events that had taken place. When the son of Jada heard the news of his father's death, he decided to go to Kashi or Banaras to offer Pinda worship for the release of his father from his hellish condition. I think you will be able to follow the story. Very simple. On the 9th day of his journey, he happened to take rest under the same tree under which his father had been killed. At that place in the evening, he performed his daily worship to Lord Krishna, and he also recited the 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. As he completed his recitation, a loud sound came from the sky. When he looked up, he saw his father there, and in front of his eyes, his father's form changed into one of the most beautiful beings, who had 4 hands and was wearing a yellow dhoti. His body was the color of a dark rain cloud, and his bodily effulgence was lighting up all the directions. At that time, his father offered his blessing to him. The son inquired from the father as to the meaning of these wonderful happenings. The father said, "My dear son, you recited the 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and thus freed me from the ghost form which I had received due to my sinful activities. Now you should return to your home, because the purpose for which you were traveling to Kashi or Banaras has been achieved by your reciting the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita." When the son inquired from the father if there were any further instructions from him, the father said, "My brother also had led a very sinful life and is suffering somewhere in the darkest regions of hell. So if you wish to free him and our other ancestors who are suffering here and there in different species in the material universe, then kindly recite the 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita." Have you faced this question sometime, that we don't know where our ancestors are and how can we help them? You can't. But when you actually do devotional service, they get helped by people who can help them. It's very clear from this instruction, very important instruction. And by that recitation, they will all attain a form similar to Lord Vishnu's and go to Vaikuntha. See the potency? Just now one devotee's mother left his body and your sister also left the body. Is it now you need to worry about her? No, because you chant Hare Krishna, you are reciting Bhagavad Gita, you are hearing Bhagavatam. आप ही का उद्धार नहीं होगा. Left and right, all the sisters will get delivered. Not only delivered, but delivered to Vaikuntha. This is the potency of devotional service. And that's why it's so rare to sit in Bhagavad Gita class. You see, you can see, I think, hey भाई वो झगड़ा मत करो, आपको भी मिलेगा मौका सुनने का. कभी होता है ऐसा? Is there any fight for Bhagavad Gita class? It never happens. It's not. हमको भी सुनना. It never happens. And are you noticing that deliverance of one person is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita? Almost, if I am not wrong, all the glorification of each chapter talks about deliverance of one person. Have you noticed? What I want to say, even if you can help one person to have interest in Bhagavad Gita, it is unlimited service, so to speak. One person. What to talk of helping more and more people. ये प्रैक्टिकल आप देख लीजिएगा हर चैप्टर में, एवरी चैप्टर ग्लोरिफिकेशन one person got delivered, because going to Vaikuntha is not easy, but it is so easy simply by recitation of Bhagavad Gita, simply by accepting the devotional principles. When the son heard the father's instructions, he replied, if that is the case, then I will recite the third chapter until all the souls who are trapped in the hellish life are freed. So this is the mood of a devotee. At that time, his father blessed him with the words, let it be. Then an airplane arrived from the spiritual world of Vaikuntha and took the father to his destination. But then you may ask, why he did not take the son to Vaikuntha? Answer is very simple. If the son was taken to Vaikuntha, who will recite the Bhagavad Gita chapter for others? So this is called Jivan Mukta. He is liberated while he is in this body, and when he will leave his body, he'll go back to Godhead. So for the sadhu, living is as good as dying. You are living serving Krishna. When you die, you go back to Krishna. Same, is it not? Like this. Thereafter, the son returned to Janasthan and sat in front of the deity of Lord Krishna, and with a desire to free all of the conditioned souls in the hellish conditions, started reciting the third chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Another important instruction, that when we chant in front of the Lord, the photo of the Lord, or the Vigraha, or the form of the Lord, or like Tulsi Devi, we get immense more benefit also. He is not simply a Murti, he is a person, he can hear you. While his recitation was continuing day after day, Lord Vishnu sent his messengers, the Vishnu Dutas, to the kingdom of Yamaraj, who is in charge of administering punishment to the sinful living entities. अब आप ये देख रहे हैं केवल संकल्प मात्र से. I think some devotee asked me, can we chant for some relatives? Can we dedicate our chanting to some of our relatives? What is the answer? Yes. Now we have proper praman. Simply by the sankalp of a devotee, a person gets delivered. And you must remember, somewhere in Bhakti Sandarbha, if I am not wrong, if you dedicate your devotional service credit to others, you get 100 times. Ajeeb equations hai. Is it not? If you give your Lakshmi to somebody, you are 0. But in devotional service, if suppose I am dedicating my chanting to so and so person, you get 100 times. All the while in Vedic literature, selflessness is encouraged. When the Vishnu Dutas arrived in front of Yamaraj, they informed him that they had a message from Lord Vishnu, who is lying on the bed of Anantashesh in the ocean of milk. They told him that Lord Vishnu was inquiring as to his welfare, मतलब welfare of Yamaraj. ठीक है ना Yamaraj जी? पीट रहे हैं ना लोगों को. And also was ordering him to free all of the conditioned souls who were suffering in hell. When Yamaraj heard this instruction from Lord Vishnu, he immediately had all of the conditioned souls released from hell, and then personally went with those Vishnu Dutas to the ocean of milk, known as Shvetadip, to have the darshan of Lord Vishnu. When he arrived there, he saw Lord Vishnu lying on the bed of Anantashesh. His body had the effulgence of suns, and Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, was massaging his feet. He was surrounded on all sides by rishis, sages, and demigods, headed by Lord Indra, who were all singing the praises of Lord Vishnu. Lord Brahma was also present, reciting the Vedas. Yamaraj fell down and offered his respects before Lord Vishnu, and offered the following praise. My dear Vishnu, you are the well-wisher of all the conditioned souls. There is no limit of your glories. From you, the Vedas have come. You are time, and in the course of time, you will destroy all things. You are the cause and maintainer of the three worlds, and you are the super soul in everyone's heart who is directing their activities. You are the guru of the whole universe and the goal of all devotees. O lotus eyed one, please accept my obeisances again and again. Your glories are unlimited. In this way, Yamaraj, with folded hands, offered his respects to Lord Vishnu. Yamaraj continued, as per your instructions, I have released all the conditioned souls from hell. So kindly instruct me what work you wish me to perform now. Narak to khali ho gaya. Hell is empty. What I am supposed to do? No seva. Lord Vishnu replied in a voice as deep as thunder and as sweet as nectar. My dear Dharmraj, Yamraj, you are equal to everyone, and I do not need to instruct you on your duties. Kindly return to your abode with my full blessings and continue your duty. That means there will be some more Mahatmas who will fill up the hell, the next batch. At that time, Lord Vishnu disappeared from the vision of Yamaraj, and Yamaraj returned to his own abode. After that, Brahmana had successfully freed all of his ancestors and the rest of the conditioned souls from hell. The Vishnu Dutas came and took him to the abode of Lord Vishnu, where he was able to engage in the service of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God eternally. I think you like the story. And it's not a story, it's a real fact. The details won't be given when it happened, what happened, but it happened. It has to be understood, and Lord Vishnu himself says.